Hello everyone, this is Denise who Dennis D Nice, aka Denny in Virginia, aka the Doors professional and professional voice actor. And today we're gonna talk about whatever in the world I want to talk about. I should have planned this out, but I wanted to talk about some problem that I have seen in my life throughout my entire working career, and that is a lack of proper training in businesses. And so this is from the employee perspective. I have never been an employer, so I don't know what's going on the employer side. This is just what I have noticed as an employee. And so employers, you can talk about your perspective in the comments. I don't know your perspective at all. So this is from someone who has had to have training to be in any of the jobs that I have worked and my experience in that training. And so I know I'm not the only one with this experience, but I'm speaking on behalf of my personal experiences. And this is not a blanket statement, because I know there are some companies out there who have got it down packed. They understand how to properly train their employees. They understand how to care for their employees. They understand how to maintain and retain their employees. However, the companies that I've worked for haven't necessarily mastered how to do that. And so I just want to give you some of the things that I've noticed in how I have been trained throughout my working career, which is, I'm not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. So I have like a little bit of experience, but not like a widespread experience. But I've worked enough like varied occupancies that I can say with confidence, I've never had a single company that I personally worked for that just really nailed the training. They really just like got it, nailed it on the head, 100% accuracy. I felt welcomed. I felt properly equipped to do a good job. I felt equipped to bring whatever problems I had to the table. I felt equipped to comfortable enough to ask them my questions. And so those are just literally, I'm already like rattling off the stuff that is coming off the top of my head based upon my more recent experiences. But like, okay, let's go down. I did not properly organize this, so this is just going to be a rant, essentially. I'm going to have to actually make this a series and organize my thoughts a little bit better. But, okay, so number one, when I talk about training, we're not even going to get into the training. We're going to get into the onboarding, before you even get on, really on the schedule, how do you get people on the schedule? So most recently, I feel like I've had like a rockier time, like actually transitioning to getting on the schedule. They either do one of two things. They either throw me on the schedule without my knowledge, and I didn't even know I was working for them, and I had a first day, and so I'm just ill-equipped, and like I have no idea how I'm supposed to start working magically when we haven't made any contact. And so I barely knew I was employed, let alone when my first day was. Or they do another thing where it's like you'll do your training at home and not on campus, not on site. And so you have to communicate with them via some random messenger app back and forth. And so like communication or email. And so communication is just not streamlined. It's not like you miss an email or you miss a text message or you miss a phone call or something like that. And so it's just like a very long back and forth. And so it takes a while for you to actually onboard and get that first day, because before you can do the first day, you have a bunch of training that you have to take. And so before we even step into the first day of work, how do we get to the first day of work? Like I said, those two methods I've noticed are just not it, where you schedule somebody for a first day of work, but they don't even know that they're on the schedule. They don't know what they're supposed to wear. They don't know what they're supposed to bring to the table on that first day of work. You haven't even properly verified, can they work that day? That's a big no-no. Another no-no is when they have to do all the training at home, and so you're only communicating via text message or email or a weird messenger thing that they had to download another app, and they only get in-app messages. And so it just takes a lot longer for the training process to happen, because you're putting it on them instead of telling them, look, on this day you have to just sit and dedicate 2 hours to your training. I know it sucks. I know the modules are horrible, but you have to get the training done by this time. And then the second you are done, contact me, message me directly, and so we can actually get you scheduled for your in-person training that first day. And so those are two things that I'm like, no, let's stop doing that, or let's do it in a better way. Now, first day on the job, do not, I repeat, do not throw everything at me at once. As an employee, as my first day on the job, if you are throwing everything at me at once from everyone and you expect me to learn everything, you are horribly mistaken, because I am honestly not the fastest learner. Even if I was a fast learner, you can't expect me to master the job that I've never had before on the first day and then get mad at me when I haven't mastered everything. So first day impressions are very important. You can literally make or break a new employee on day one. I have had many jobs where day one I was like, I want to quit. I'm done. This is not the life for me. This is for them, not for me. I am upset. They have upset me and I am done. And you guys can come for me in the comments and say that I am a baby or whatever. I do not care. I've had these thoughts. You've had these thoughts, okay? I have been softened in life. I'm not going to lie. And so I have certain expectations of like, I need you as my manager, as my supervisor, as my leader to lead me on the job. I need you to have a designated trainer to train me on the job instead of throwing me to the wolves, essentially, just throwing me out there to be eaten alive on day one. So day one, first impressions are very, very, very important. Do not throw your new hires into the ether and expect them to come back whole. Like, you have to take them by the hand on day one and tell them, look, these are the standards that we have and we are going to work to maintain those standards. First of all, please have standards. That's something I have noticed. Some people do not have the proper standards for their own establishment. Please, 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 for your corporation, even if you are a franchisee, a franchisor, whatever the terminology is, even if it's not your business, as a leader, you should have certain standards to uphold, and you should want all of your employees to uphold those standards. And so please, please, please have standards, y'all. We should have much higher standards than what I've been seeing in the workforce as of late. In that things are just like, if you don't have that bar set in the first place, everything is just going all willy-nilly. Everything is crazy. Everything is unorganized. And you're just kind of surviving. You're just kind of getting through the workday. You're just doing things to get to the end of the day instead of walking through a process, through a purpose, through an organized set of steps that you have to follow every time consistently to maintain the standard that you have set. So that's a whole nother thing. Please, please, please have standards for your establishment, for your business, for your employees. How do they show up? How do they speak? Be careful. Stop cussing on the job, okay? I know this is not like a blanket statement for every job, but there are so many jobs out there where I'm like, you are customer facing, and the types of customers you are getting, you should not have that potty mouth on the job. Not even behind the scenes, with just the chance that someone who is a client will hear you from behind the scenes cussing up a storm. Every other word from your mouth should not be a curse word. Like, it's not necessary. It's not adding to anything. It's not solving any problems. It's not creating a sense of urgency. It's just potty mouth, you know? Just stop with all the potty mouth. Is there anything else that I should bring to your attention right now? Guys, I should have planned this out because there's so much more that I need to talk about based upon my past experience. So basically, yeah, in general, there is a lack of a training structure. So by a training structure, what I mean is, who is the trainer? Like, there are no designated trainers for people. Like, they're not training with the same person each and every single day. And you as the leader, as the manager, as the supervisor, have not made sure that the person who is in charge of training has themselves been properly trained. And so it's new people training new people, training new people, training new people, or people who were never properly trained, training your new hires, and then you get upset that things aren't getting done the way that you want them to get done, but you're having people who were never properly trained training your new hires. And so it's just this daggone rolling boulder of just bad training and bad experiences. And so you're getting mad because the new hire isn't getting trained properly, but you're the one who put this person who wasn't trained properly in the first place to train the person who should be getting trained properly. And so this whole like domino effect of poor training, poor decision making, poor influence. You're having people who have a bad influence your pure influence people who are coming in with at zero. They're coming in at stage zero, not even stage one, stage zero. And you're having them influenced by people who are actually in the negatives because they're doing things that you don't even like yourself. So why, oh why would you have the people who are operating down here training someone who is coming in pure, who is coming in with no biases, who is coming in purely with the spirit of the workforce? And you're going to have someone who is operating down here train someone up here to bring them down there, and you're going to be upset that this person who came in down here starts acting like this. And so when you are getting someone in charge of training, you need someone who is operating up here. You need someone who is clearly in line with your values, in line with where the company is going, what your standards are, and they should be up here. And so you need these people training these people and not these people training these people, because what you want is you want people coming in over here and they get trained by these people, and so they end up here instead of coming in over here and they're getting trained by these people and they end up down here, or they end out down here, as in they exit. Either you fire them or they quit because of their experience getting trained by someone down here. So that's all I have for this particular segment. There's so much more about training in the workforce. This is not a blanket statement. Again, this is just my personal experience, but there's so much more to impact about the training system that we have in corporate, in small businesses. It doesn't matter how small or large the business is. This has been, because I've been a part of like a couple of smaller and a couple of larger businesses, and either way, there's just like a bunch of cons that have been happening with the training that I've experienced. And so I would love to be a part of the positive force, positive in the workforce, who is trying to reestablish the training standards that should be way up here that have fallen either down here or even below the screen. And so, yeah, if you have any other suggestions as to how training can be improved, or any other problems you've experienced when onboarding for a company or when going through training for a company, for either the entry-level position or a managerial position or just a newer position in general, please put it in the comments and let us know so we can start working on this system that is clearly broken and not working, because employee retention rates are trash for the companies that I have worked for, and that should not be the case. We should go in over here and end up there. And so that's all I have for this episode of Learning Things with Denise. Bump bump. And so we just talked about training and my current experiences and like how can we improve our training. So let me know if you have any ideas on how you have had, how your personal experience with training has been and onboarding has been with a company, and let me know what else I should talk about in the future as far as proper training procedures should go. First of all, there should be procedures. I'll leave with that note. Proper training procedures. There should be procedures in place. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. And let me know, what are your thoughts in the comments, from the employer perspective, from the employee perspective, from seasoned veterans to newbies in the workforce. Let me know. I want to know everybody's perspective. So that's all for today. Have a beautiful day, and until next time, goodbye.